The Marvel Universe has no shortage of powerful mutants, but when it comes to Arakko, Marvel's war-torn sister island to Krakoa, the rules are a bit different. It's harsher, older, and way more unforgiving. And standing right at the center of its harsh justice system is Ora Serrata. So, is she just another powerful mutant, or something more? You'll find out soon. Let's dive into the full story of one of Arakko's most mysterious and powerful figures. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The Arbitrix of Arakko and the establishment of the God Law. Ora Serrata is an Omega-level mutant hailing from Arakko, who helped her nation fight wars with hordes of Amenth. You know Arakko, right? It's a mutant island full of war-hardened, no-nonsense Omega-level powerhouses. So in a society like that, one built on survival, strength, and brutal justice, it takes someone truly extraordinary like Ora Serrata to hold the line. Known as the Witness, Ora became infamous for challenging not only gods, but the very notion of unchecked power. Her rise began during one of Arakko's darkest hours, the Ever-Siege of Amenth. At the time, the seat of law on the dusk table of the Great Ring was held by Ukesh the Bridge. Ukesh, in a catastrophic move, handed control of Arakko's armies to summon gods, an act that led to the nation's greatest military disaster. That betrayal didn't sit well with Ora, so in true Araki fashion, she challenged him to a duel for his position. After the fight, Ora didn't just take his place, she basically made an example of him. She sentenced Ukesh to dismemberment and kept his remains. Then she laid down the God Law, according to which no god could be worshipped without proving their worth. You don't get to rule Arakko just by existing, you earn it. Following this, she became the Arbitrix of the Inward Watch. Who's an Arbitrix, you ask? It's the one who judges all duels in the Circle Perilous. If there was a legal matter on Arakko, Ora had the final say. No exceptions. So if we were to draw a parallel, we can say that she's the chief legal officer. But here's where things get messy. After Arakko society was moved to Mars, new gods started showing up, looking to gather followers. Ora went full enforcer, dragging them into trials, demanding they prove themselves or be wiped out. But secretly, she had her own game going. She made a deal with Mother Righteous, a manipulative trickster, and together they brought forth Tumult, a chaotic god meant to stir up trouble. Tumult broke free and ran to Krakoa, Arakko's twin entity. Pretending to want justice, Ora sent Nightcrawler, the Krakoan constable, and her own enforcer, weaponless Zen, after him. But she couldn't hide the truth for long, and eventually everyone found out that she was behind Tumult all along. Betrayed, Zen sent her soldiers to end Ora, following which a desperate Ora invaded the headquarters of Nightcrawler in the altar. Nightcrawler and Zen confronted her and wanted to imprison her for her deeds. In the end, it all collapsed. Legion, a reformed Tumult, and Zen banded together to stop her. Storm did step in after this and offered to cover the whole thing up, but it was all based on a deal that Tumult would be erased, the God Law would be revoked, and Araki would have their religious freedom back, and even Zen would be freed from her inward watch duties. Ora Serrata may have lost her grip on control, but she's far from gone. She still owes a debt to Mother Righteous, and that could lead to major story arcs. The fall of the Great Ring and her transformation into Zilora. Ora Serrata's story takes a wild, almost tragic turn during one of the most chaotic moments in Arakko's history. Ora Serrata had always been a towering figure of law and judgment on Arakko, but during the fall of the Great Ring, even she couldn't hold back the storm that was coming. It all started with a fight, classic Arakko style. Ora was overseeing a duel between Magneto, now a resident of Arakko, and Tarn the Uncaring, for the Seat of Loss, where Magneto emerged victorious. It signaled a new era, but that moment of triumph was immediately undercut by a darker threat. Soon after, Abigail Brand warned the Great Ring about an incoming attack by the Eternals, and in a rare moment of shared dread, Ora delivered a chilling prophecy from Idil, Arakko's seer. It hinted at betrayal, bloodshed, and death. Unfortunately, it all turned out to be true. Enter Uranos, one of the most terrifying Eternals to ever exist. He showed up for just 1 hour, and in that hour, he tore through Arakko like a storm. Ora tried to confront him, relying on her all-seeing psychic gaze, but it didn't work. Uranos was completely immune to her power. Worse, he maimed her eye, leaving her not just physically damaged, but stripped of the ability that defined her. She survived, but couldn't use her powers, and for a time, she wasn't the Arbitrix anymore, just another wounded warrior. Uranos eventually left after exterminating thousands of Araki. Then came a betrayal. Iska the Unbeaten, once their own, turned on Arakko and killed the prophet Idil. The fallout was massive. After the Eternals ceased, the Great Ring was in chaos, and some called for Ora Serrata to resign. But the turmoil didn't stop there. Genesis, Arakko's former ruler, saw the disorder and came back, ready to reclaim control. This divided the Great Ring. Some sided with Storm, others with Genesis. When the conflict erupted, Storm's allies were teleported away by Laktuka, the Knower. However, Ora Serrata stayed behind, siding with Genesis. During the brutal Genesis War, Ora was blinded again, this time by Sunspot, and just when it seemed she might be done for, something unexpected happened. The Fisher King, who had merged with Zelo, Arakko's living memory, let Zelo go. Zelo then merged with Ora, transforming her into Zilora, a new being of judgment and remembrance. While Storm defeated Genesis in the final battle, it was Zilora who struck the final blow, against the Genesis loyalist Lycaon, ending the war. This marked the fall of Ora Serrata, the Arbitrix, and the rise of Ora Serrata Zilora. Omega-level existence erasure ability. Ora Serrata's mutant ability is utterly terrifying. As an Omega-level mutant, her weapon, as the Araki call their powers, allows her to erase someone from existence just by looking at them. Not vaporize, not kill, erase, like they were never there to begin with. But there's a twist. This power only works on those who submit to the legal system she represents. It's not a free-for-all. She can't just wipe out anyone she wants, it's got rules. And that's what makes it so Araki. Order forged through violence and consent. Basically, if someone accepts her judgment, even silently, they're fair game. But if they don't, she's powerless against them. Take Uranos, for example. This eternal war machine didn't even flinch under her gaze. Why? Because he doesn't recognize her authority. He only follows the eternal principles. And there's another limitation. Her eye itself. If it's damaged or she's blinded, which has happened more than once, her power shuts down completely. So yes, Ora Serrata's weapon is absolute, but only within the framework of law. Step outside that, and even the Arbitrix can be rendered helpless. Anatomical significance of the Ora Serrata name. Now that you know who or what Ora Serrata is, here's a cool detail you might have missed. Her name, Ora Serrata, isn't just dramatic flair. It's actually a real anatomical term. In the human eye, the Ora Serrata is the jagged boundary where the retina ends and the ciliary body begins. Basically, it's the line where visual perception starts to shift, where structures give way to the part of the eye that actually processes sight. It's the perfect metaphor for a figure who stands at the boundary between law and annihilation, judgment and obliteration. Marvelous verdict. Ora Serrata's story is anything but static. She's gone from cold, calculating judge to something far more complex, a fusion of memory and law, reborn as Zilora. She's been a symbol of unyielding justice, a wielder of terrifying power, and at times a flawed figure consumed by her own belief in order. Her story blends raw power with harsh ideology, and as we've seen, that kind of authority can twist into something dangerous fast. Whether feared, followed, or fought, Ora has left a lasting mark on Arakko. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.